Okay, so let's move on to SummerSlam. We're going to be back to you, James. I'm going to go from the bottom of the card, work our way up.
Okay.
So they have a pre-show match, Matt Riddle versus Baron Corbin. Or, sorry, King Corbin. All hail King Corbin.
Okay.
There's stuff going on in SmackDown, but what do you got for them?
Bro, I'm going with Bro, the original Bro. I just like Matt Riddle a lot. I like the original Bro, so I'm down with that one. I'll say original Bro.
I'm once again gonna be a contrarian. I'm gonna go with Corbin.
Oh wow. To be honest, I was gonna consider doing that if you picked Matt Riddle, but I'm gonna pick Matt Riddle. I think that's probably there's no reason he's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna be Matt Riddle.
I'm like, there's no reason, but you never know, because this is the main roster. Roster, they're guilty of doing weird stuff just for the sake of.
Alex, we'll go back to you. So, match in the cards: Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. Hair versus hair.
This is another one that
Who's winning?
Yeah, this is another one I wish they just wouldn't do. But for the sake of picking a winner, I'm gonna go with Mandy winning.
Right. I'm gonna pick Mandy as well. I don't think that she'll look good with a shaved head, but Sonya Deville will look badass with a shaved head. So.
Yeah, I'm going all three across the board, Mandy.
Right.
Sonya, actually,
we can't agree on Matt Riddle, but we can agree on Mandy Rose.
Yes, because she looks too good without. She would not.
Vince would probably hate it, and that's the other thing to
buzz
consider.
Cut with the buzz.
All right.
Yeah, he doesn't like the Dave Blonde women's hair.
Right.
I've noticed
All
that.
right.
If you go back to the history.
Yeah.
What happens if Sonya wins?
All right, here's the next one.
Mandy gets shaved. That's what happens. We all don't get, and none of us get
points.
And we probably all deserve to eat saltines at that point.
Right.
If that happens, right? There's something.
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's just a point against us.
If you're just joining us, Luca Dark Sky, what happens is we're doing a prediction contest, and the person with the lowest score will have to do our punishment, and our punishment is eating 6 saltines in a minute. So I hope I don't win. I hope I don't lose because I don't have any saltines in the house right now. I have to go buy them. But,
that's the real reason.
We'll
not even having to eat them, just having to go buy them.
The thing about us all picking the same person is winning or losing doesn't really matter.
I can eat them, but I don't have them in the house. I gotta go get them.
None of us gets the point, so there's that. All right, United States Championship match. I think I'm to go first now. Apollo Crews defending the United States Champion against MVP. I'm gonna pick Crews to retain. WWE isn't really not doing title changes that much. It seemed to be behind Crews for a reason. I also think he's the leader of Retribution. So, James.
Apollo Crews MVP. Apollo Crews. But I like MVP. I love MVP. I'm a big MVP guy. He doesn't need it. Crews needs it. And then it would work perfect if he's the leader of Retribution. Because now he has a belt,
that's my
which means
theory. I don't really have
something more.
Yeah.
All right, Alex.
Yeah, I agree with you. I say Crews.
Yeah. I think I'm getting a feeling for where we're gonna head. I think I have a feeling for the road we're going down with our predictions because I'm going with Crews as well. My reason's pretty simple. I'm pretty sure the only reason MVP won the title at the last pay-per-view was because they didn't actually have the match. That was pretty evident by the way they did that.
He didn't win the title. He just introduced.
Yeah, he introduced a new championship, which I like the fact that for those 2 or 3 weeks they actually did tease the thing about, well, clearly this was just the title that MVP brought in. I felt like it took away some of the sting of giving us a new title belt. And I also like the fact that they I like the way that they quote unquote wrote off the old title by having Crews say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go hang this up on my wall for my kids to see." I thought that was cool. I thought that was cute. That was a nice storybook ending for that.
That was a nice touch.
So
I like that subtle storytelling.
Yeah,
so,
it was better than.
So
anyways, I'm going with Crews. I think we're all in agreement on where that feud's heading.
All right. James, I think you're up first. So the Raw Tag Team Championships, the Street Profits defending the title against Andrade and Angel Garza.
I'm gonna be different again. I would probably put Garza and Andrade to win because the way they've been building up Poison, Vega did it. No, I think they're going to try to in this one. That's my pick. That one.
All right, Alex.
I love the
I'm in agreement with James. I think Andrade and Garza are gonna end up picking this up. I'm not entirely sure where the storyline about one of them being poisoned goes, unless that becomes like the reason that Ford is unable to compete that night or whatever.
He's going to compete.
He came back.
Well, yeah, I know he came back. Oh,
He's
no,
back.
that's not what I meant. I meant that something gets followed up on that prevents him from effectively performing.
They blew it off though because they just revealed that it was Selena Selena who did it.
It's not.
So anyways,
the twist is coming.
See, that's my thing.
The twist
that whole thing aside, my pick. I think we're gonna end up with new champs.
So
that's my opinion.
All right, you got that. I'm actually gonna pick the Street Profits to retain. I think because of the discord between Andrade, Angel, and Zelina, they might not be a breakup, but they may actually. I'm afraid they're going to separate from Zelina, which is too bad because she's like the best thing about the show. But yeah, the Street Profits retain the title.
I'm telling you, the twist. I will fully bet that the twist of the story is Dawkins did it. Watch, they're going to break the Street Profits up.
But they just showed that Zelina did it
later. Fake the video by Retribution. Dawkins is in Retribution too. No, fake video. Watch.
All right.
Watch. It's gonna be like
all right,
two
here we go. Match of the night contender. Alex, you're up first. Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio in a street fight. Seth Rollins is going to have Buddy Murphy in his corner, and Dominic is going to have Ray in his corner.
My pick for this match is that a portal to the WWE version of Hell opens up. They both get sucked in, and there's no match.
But you have to make it winner.
Come on,
I know. I'm joking. Honestly, I think this is going to be one of those things where Dom wins, if for no other reason than to get revenge for what Seth did to his dad. That's the number one reason I think that Dom's going to end up winning this.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Dominic's going to win this. Like, it's going to happen. Dominic Mysterio to win.
I'd say Dominic also, only because I give Dominic props. I was looking at that beating he'd taken, and that those pictures, they were brutal. And I'm like
he's been taking beatings since he got here. Like he was taking beatings from Brock Lesnar. Like this kid's tough.
He's doing that old school thing of paying your dues the hard way.
Yeah. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt.
I really like what he's doing. I know that I've said it on like every show now, but he's really benefiting from not having real crowds because I'm sure real crowds would reject him. But I'm really digging what he's doing. So I don't know where they go with him after this, and I hope that maybe he actually gets to be a legitimate member of the roster. Like after this,
I think so. I think
they
dropped him.
Because they already did the thing where he signed a contract to actually do this, which I was a little surprised.
So he wins, and then he drops to next. Debuts on next. It's like,
I think
this is Dominic Seth Rollins the street fight. I think that's what happens. I think that's happening.
I think it stays on Raw.
If he stays on Raw, it's going to be to continue the feud with Seth. It's just one of those things.
All right, so
to win, and he'll go to next because they can introduce him.
That would be ideal.
You saw him on Raw,
and I think I'll go first now. Is the Raw Women's Championship match? Sasha Banks defending the championship against Asuka.
We'll put them both together.
Well, no, we'll do them one at a time. Because I mean, it doesn't matter. I think Asuka wins.
Okay.
My turn, Alex.
Asuka's going. If I recall correctly, and it may end up changing on the show, but they did make a point to say that Sasha Banks was going to defend her title first to make it easier.
No, Bayley's going first.
Bayley going first? No, I think Sasha's going first.
Yeah, Bayley's going first. Yeah, I thought you said Bayley said I'll go first.
No, I think Sasha's going first. Anyway, whichever. Either way, we're picking the Raw Championship first, so I think Asuka's going to win.
Yeah. Okay.
James.
Asuka. I can already see the story. It's already unfolding. Asuka wins.
Alex? Same. Asuka wins.
All right. And then the SmackDown Women's Championship. James, we'll start with you. It's Bayley defending the SmackDown Women's title against Asuka.
Here's why I say Asuka wins also. Asuka wins here. Bayley gets mad, tries to help Sasha, messes it up, and loses it also for the help. And that's what cuts into Then they have Payback coming like 2 weeks afterwards, and they have their tag team match. They're fast tracking the explosion right now. But yeah, Asuka.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's right. They literally next Sunday is Payback. Like a week from Sunday, a week after SummerSlam, they're doing another pay-per-view. This is where,
as I said, they're fast tracking.
This is where we're at with WWE right now. What the heck?
Oh gosh, we're do a prediction. We have to do predictions next week
Yes.
too, aren't we?
Well, we'll do that too. Yeah.
There'll be no card to predict though. Anyway, what do you think? Bayley or Asuka?
Also Asuka, because I mentioned this last week. I'm almost convinced at this point that they're gonna end up having Asuka take everything from both of them. I'll probably be wrong, but at the very least, I think she's gonna take both the women's singles titles away from Bayley and Banks. So.
Okay. I'm actually gonna pick Bayley.
Okay.
I think she's only taking the Raw title. I think it's just to further the jealousy that kind of been showing between Sasha and Bayley. And since Sasha is going first, and I think I'm right and she's going first, her losing the title and Bayley retaining the title because Asuka is beaten, right? Seems like that'll push that over the edge.
That can work also. But
so
I still think they're fast tracking the implosion.
Maybe we'll see. Anyway, Bayley to retain.
They're fast tracking the implosion. Yeah.
All right. So the next match on the card, we're gonna do the semi-main event. It is the Monster, Braun Strowman, defending the Universal Championship against the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Alex, you are first.
This almost pains me to say because I've been a really big fan of the Fiend since he first popped up, but I don't think they're gonna. I think they're done trying to make the Fiend both a monster and a champion. So I think Strowman's gonna pick up the win here.
Okay. I actually think the Fiend's gonna win. I think they're gonna put the title back on the Fiend. It seems like the way Braun Strowman's kind of breaking down. I think they're gonna break down Braun Strowman and build him back up again. Because he got too facey, I guess.
Okay. No, they didn't pull the trigger when they should have pulled the trigger a couple of years ago. They blew that already.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna pick the Fiend.
I agree with you. I say the Fiend also. Okay. The Fiend makes for a more compelling champion.
Not really. I hate the Fiend as a character. I'm hoping since he hasn't wrestled in a while, they'll start making the Fiend like the way they do the Damon from Finn Balor. Right?
Yeah, that's what I think.
The Demon doesn't make Finn Balor immortal or immune to all damage. It just makes him like tenacious.
Yeah,
which is fine. I hated that literally Seth Rollins had to stomp the Fiend 30 times. Right?
Again, they blew that again. But that's we can always talk about. But yeah, I say Fiend.
I don't want to see what happens. Braun Strowman picks up and power slams the Fiend, his finisher move, and the Fiend just stands up like nothing happened. I hate that.
Yeah.
The Fiend can be a monster and still wrestle like a semi-competent match. Anyway, but I think WWE is not going to do that, and that's why
with shenanigans by Bliss. Bliss causes Strowman to lose.
Okay. All right, and final match, and I guess fittingly I get to go first. It is the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre defending the WWE Championship against Randy Orton. I feel like my heart says Drew, but my head says it's going to be Randy. Oh, man. I guess I'll talk through it for a moment because I think they'll want Drew chasing because the babyface chasing the heel. But I do. You know what? Even though I predicted that Charlotte would fight Randy Orton, I don't think it's going to happen next week because Charlotte's still out.
You're still on.
Yeah, I am still on that, but that's besides the point. I think Randy Orton's going to win. I think they want Drew chasing the title as opposed to winning and then with the Thunderdome they can have the big moment where real fans cheer for him when he wins the title back. I think it's going to be Randy Orton. All right, James.
Oh God! I mean, as compelling as Randy Orton to take his 14th title, and he's been a damn good heel. I just want Drew to go a little bit longer. I like Drew McIntyre as champion. I think.
Don't get me wrong. I like Drew McIntyre as champion. I just think they're not going to do. I think they're going to make him the challenger again. But yeah, you're picking Drew.
I'm picking Drew. I'll pick Drew.
All right,
I'll go with.
I too am picking Drew, primarily because it's really hard for me to pick against the champion, unless there's like a compelling reason to. And well, I will concede that it would be interesting to see Drew chasing the title, maybe until like Survivor Series or something. But as it is, I think I'm gonna have to just stick with Drew.
Yeah, my head, like, God, like I said, just I could see Orton, because people will hate that. Oh God, he'll be a great heel champion. I mean, bona fide, real heat. Damn it, there's a real crowd there. I would probably go with Orton if we had real people there. Darn you, COVID! Darn you!
I think the absence of real people is why he'll win. Anyway, here's a super bonus match. The TNT Championship, the American Nightmare Cody defending against Mr. Brody Lee with the Dark Order in his corner. And, of course, Arn Anderson in Cody's corner. James, you're up. Is Cody losing the TNT Championship to Brody Lee?
He should.
Mr. Brody Lee.
He really should. I mean, I know that Cody's trying to... Yes, he needs to lose it. He really does. I would say yes. Just go full heel. Just all Cody right. Go full heel.
So who's winning? Who's winning the match?
Damn it. Okay, Cody.
Cody's winning?
Cody wins. Because
Alex.
They're going to be the family of gold. The Rose family.
Okay. I'm going to give you my pick, and then I'm going to give you my reasoning. Because I've been thinking about this a lot, especially because I started watching the semifinals for the women's tag tournament earlier today. So you...
Oh, I should have.
You probably. Well,
we're gonna predict that
okay,
match
cool. Because yeah. Well, I'll get into it then. I kind of need Mr. Brody Lee to win the title off of Cody, and the reason why is because I have a feeling the Nightmare Sisters are gonna win the tag tournament title, the tag tournament thing, and I really don't like that idea. So I need something to offset the sour taste in my mouth from the Nightmare Sisters winning. So I really need Mr. Brody Lee to win this. So that's my pick, is Mr. Brody Lee.
All right. I'm actually also going to pick Mr. Brody Lee. I think this is the time to get the title off of Cody. See what someone else can do with the title. As much as... And since
Rose family go. Rose family go.
Yeah, I think the Dark Order powers Mr. Brody Lee to the win, so we're going to pick him. And then finally, the match that we've all been waiting for. The Women's Tag Team Cup Finals. The Nightmare Sisters, Brandy Rose and Allie, versus Diamante and Ivelisse. Alex, you're first. I believe you picked the Nightmare
Hold on.
Sisters.
I need to get this off my chest for a second. Just real quick.
You
had your rant earlier, and so I need to have my rant real quick. It's a small rant. It's a small rant. But here's the thing. Why did the Nightmare Sisters have to go and beat one of the only other like halfway legitimate tag teams in the whole tournament for the semifinals? The Swole Sisters, the reason that when Ariel Monroe signed with AEW, they started calling her Big Swole. Because her tag team partner, Nicole Savoy, is Little Swole. That's a thing from Shimmer and the Indies. So for them to lose to the Nightmare Sisters, in what's clearly become a thing to presumably put Brandy over. Brandy doesn't need this cup. Allie maybe. Brandy, no. It's clear to me that Brandy Rhodes is a freaking parody of Steph McMahon. And it's starting to get annoying.
That's right.
Parodies have a short shelf life in wrestling. And this one's starting to get past its expiration date. That said, I think the Nightmare Sisters are going to end up winning this. And that I am going to be so freaking annoyed about it because here's the other thing. If anything, the match that was the semifinal should have been the finals. If you're going to have two halfway legitimate tag teams in this whole thing, they might as well be the teams facing each other in the finals. I don't see the two most recent signees to the women's division being the heroes to upset the Nightmare Sisters. but that's just me. I'm annoyed. Yeah. I had a whole lot of hope for this tournament, and now we're in the finals, and now I'm like, what the heck? What did you guys do to me?
Well, guess what? I actually disagree with
Good.
you.
I'm glad. I hope that the Nightmare Sisters lose this, but I don't have that much faith.
No. I don't disagree with that. I'm absolutely picking
Oh
Nightmare.
no.
They're absolutely winning.
Yeah. We're all in agreement
here. I disagree that is a bad thing.
Oh no.
I say it's a bad thing. I say it's a bad thing.
So first off, Ivelisse and Diamante teamed up before AEW as well, so they're not like even though they're not a name tag team, they are a tag team.
Okay, so that's something I didn't know about. So thank you for the clarification.
At least that's what they claim. So who knows? Maybe the it was the female announcer, and I can't think of her name. That's with Tony Schiavone.
Oh, not leave Vita Scott.
Vita Scott, yes, she's the one.
Okay, I missed that.
So I'm assuming that's legit.
Okay, I mean if that's the case, then that's fine. At least they're.
Even if it's not legit.
Vita Scott's on AEW.
I think that it was right, Big Swole and Little Swole to lose in the semifinals, because the whole point of this tag team tournament was random pairings, random tag teams, and then of course Ali cheated to.
I like that name.
To be teamed up with Angie.
Yeah.
The reason I think they need to win this is because they are the only tag team with a legitimate story, and it's not because Brandy Rhodes is a Stephanie McMahon parody. It's because they have this I hate you, you hate me, but somehow a really effective partnership, which I know is cliche, but it is the story that we're presented with.
You could have done that with Ivelisse and Diamante.
Ivelisse and Diamante should not win this. It should be the Nightmare Sisters. I'm picking the Nightmare Sisters, and we should be happy about it.
I know. I'm picking it. Well, I'm picking
let's agree to disagree on that part of that, but.
Yeah, because I agree with Alex's. I picked the Nightmare Sisters because I agree with Alex.
Because I will just.
They're doing roles because they're doing the family roles go. They're doing. She's gonna have that belt. Cody's gonna have his TNT belt. They're gonna both come out with the belt. They're gonna basically what he's built himself his faction now. He's basically built. He's got Ali. He's got Arn Anderson. Who else is he rolling with right now? Did he have a whole
Dustin Rhodes, QT Marshall.
Dustin. QT Marshall. He's basically
the Nightmare family.
Built his.
They even announced Arn Anderson as the head coach of the Nightmare family.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Justin Roberts. He's a treasure.
Yeah.
Justin.
But yeah,
but yes,
Justin Roberts is a treasure. We can just do that for the next hour.
I'm gonna fly. If you keep doing that, I'm gonna have to come find you on one leg, and I'm gonna have to come and choke you with. Because I hate that. But they're doing. He's doing kind of his version now because he's trying to be Triple H, and we can go that way. But yeah, Nightmare Sisters.
I know Mr. Brody Lee takes shots at Vince McMahon, but not everyone in AEW is doing that.
But I guess that's my.
They get it off their chest, and I know Zack Ryder did the same thing. He I think he talked about how the company mismanaged him. Whatever, let him get it off their chest.
But I guess that's my point. My entire point was that parodies have a short shelf life, and I don't want to see it overstay its welcome.
I don't agree that Bray's a parody. I know Bray's had these start and stop gimmicks, like she was going to be a cannibal at one point for some reason. Eating.
Oh yeah, I'm glad they stopped that. That was no. That was a hard no from me.
This partnership, the Nightmare Sisters.
Well, I mean, I guess that's my thing. It's better. It's better than Nightmare Collective, that's for sure. I'm just annoyed by this whole thing especially I don't know. It's a whole thing. I don't know what it is.
I mean,
overall, we can go for a whole rant.
You can go the entire lot, all of the elite, the Young Bucks, Cody, the Nightmare.
Yeah, we go a whole rant on that. We can rant on that for the next hour.
And that's my dream for AEW, and I'm hoping maybe when they get virtual fans, that maybe we'll finally pull the trigger on that.
They're not going to get virtual.
Although apparently they're starting to sell limited tickets for TV tapings again. I think starting next week.
We'll get AEW Waterworld as opposed to Thunderdome.
Oh, that would be great because Christopher Daniels used to work at he was working at the Waterworld thing at Universal
Stunt Show.
Florida, or no, Hollywood
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, he has a whole history with them.
Yeah, he was at the Stunt Show.
Yeah, so I can handle that.